Welcome to episode 131 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. This is the 50th anniversary celebration of Dress to Kill. Hello everyone, my name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
My name's Jeb.
And yes, like we said, this is the 50th anniversary celebration of Dress to Kill. I will admit we're a little early. The anniversary isn't until March 19th.
Correct.
But I thought, who cares? I mean, we got the three of
Jeb
us
is
here.
here.
Yeah,
So
Jeb is here. We got the three of us on the podcast. This has only happened like one other time.
I was going to say, we haven't done this in a very long time. All three of us on screen at the same time.
So this is
cool.
awesome. Jeb, how you been, man?
I've been okay.
You showed up with some money back. I know that. So
Look, you can't show up.
you're in my good graces.
Couldn't show up empty-handed here. I'm enjoying the ginger ale today. Xander's got a cola.
And Daphne.
I'm rebelling again by having tea, sorry.
Either way,
Kiss mug, doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
absolutely. So anyway, like we said, guys, today is going to be nothing but a celebration of Kiss's third studio album, which means this is also the third album that has reached its 50th milestone. This is one of those big 50th. I mean, Jeb, we've done the first album, Hotter Than Hell. Or no, I think Rob was with me on Hotter Than Hell.
Yeah, I know we did the first and then.
But here we are for Dress to Kill 50th. So we're going to be talking about, of course, every studio track, talking about the album, the front cover, the back cover, everything in between. So, real quickly though, let's do a quick Kiss spotlight.
Oh, yes.
I think Jeb has something that he wanted to share with us. Is that correct?
I do.
Okay.
Tell you what, recently, at one of my local record stores in Chicago, I came across this new, well, it's from 2024, 25, but it's a bootleg, and no one really knows where it's from.
That's awesome.
Right.
It's
It's
interesting.
got like the German logo.
So yeah, it's imported from the UK. It's
Okay.
called The Lost Tape 1974.
Yeah.
At the top it says original broadcast recording. Now there's no information as far as these songs were played on this date at this venue and whatever else. It just
Does it say recordings at the top?
No, it just
Just a
original
recording?
broadcast recording.
Gotcha. Okay, for sure.
I bought it. It was sealed, so it's like a. I'm sure it may have been in circulation before with different artwork, but I just thought it was random showing up sealed at a record store, and so it was $15, and I picked it up and had no idea really what I was getting myself into, and it's pretty awesome. I mean,
it's definitely early Kiss. It sounds like.
it's fairly It's supposed to be from the first tour.
Yeah.
Again, there's no info on as far as what show it is or if it's a compilation of shows, but
How's the audio quality?
That's what I was wondering.
so the first song, Deuce, starts out really rough, and then it gets better.
Really like warbly,
It's
kind of like that one.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Maybe we'll have to do a side by side and see if some of that comes from that April '74 show. Jeb got me a
Very well.
bootleg
Yes, okay.
from Tennessee.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
so
a radio broadcast. So.
that's the first thing I thought. I was like, okay, because I have a copy of that same one as well. I was like, is that the same one? And then I never did a side by side to check.
Huh.
But it's got 8 songs. It's got Deuce, Strutter, Cold Gin, She, Firehouse, Nothing to Lose, 100,000 Years, and Black Diamond. Which is cool. In '74 they hadn't even released She on an album yet. That was
Exactly. Yeah, it's coming on Dress to Kill.
Yeah.
And this version is a little different. All the songs. It's mostly Ace who will just throw in different guitar licks.
Yeah.
It's like it seems like Nite from Night to Night it was something a little different. And that version of She on this, if anyone comes across it, definitely pick it up. What? Sorry. Fucking ginger ale. But that version of She is absolutely killer, and the sound quality is okay. Again, like the first song is like kind of rough, and then it gets better. But it's just
That's
so
awesome,
random
man.
to find.
Yeah, anybody out there who has any information on this, please let us know, because Jeb and I last night tried to look for any information we could. But yeah, you're right. There is no mention of a date, a city, a state, a venue, or anything like that. So it's kind of weird. I wonder if does it sound like it's all from the same show? Or
Well, it's hard to tell.
Or is it hard to
because
tell?
It's it could be a compilation of different radio broadcasts. 'Cause
Yeah, that's
on a couple tracks. There's like a hard cut at the end, and then it'll just go on to another song. So it's
But that could easily just be like commercial breaks and stuff.
No, you're absolutely right.
I feel
You're
like since it
absolutely
says broadcast, that implies that it's just one.
and recording. It's
Yeah.
like
Right.
one recording.
Yeah.
And the closest thing we could find was that it may be like from May '74 from like Grand Rapids or something like that from Michigan.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's actually true or not, but
It's really
who
hard
knows?
to
Again,
tell.
it's kind of random, but yeah. So still a cool spotlight though, bro. So
yeah, it's just so cool. I mean,
I like it.
I hope they get more because I'll buy anything they got.
Absolutely, there you go. And I tell you what, I have a little spotlight too that's going to perfectly segue into today's show, and that is this 3 CD set that Jeb got me for Kissmas this past year.
That is so cool.
Kiss Chronicles, 3 classic albums. You have the first album, Hotter Than Hell, and Dress to Kill. So again, we're obviously talking about the 50th anniversary of Dress to Kill. So this was the version that I chose to listen to. These are, I think, the original versions, or are they remasters? I can't remember.
I think those are the remasters.
The remasters?
Because it's Mercury Polygram.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have to take a look. I can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, so this is what I've been jamming to as far as Dress to Kill goes. I chose this version. This came out in 2005.
So random.
I don't
I
recall
love it.
anything like this coming out 20 years ago.
It says Chronicles.
Kiss Chronicles,
Yeah.
yeah. But just 3 CDs in a package
like
like
a long
this,
box.
I've never seen a package like this on the
That's
shelf.
so unique. Yeah.
It's very unique. So yeah, I thought that I would show that just real quickly as we're segueing into the album. So again, we're going to do this like we always do, track by track. Let's break it down. We've all listened to the album Dress to Kill.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Jeb listened to it on the way down.
Yeah, I did.
I listened to it on the way to and from work. Daphne, you've been jamming it
All day.
all day and even yesterday.
Yep.
So I think we're ready to talk about the album, and hopefully you guys are too. So please follow along in the comments with your review of the album. If you were around in '75, tell us, about your experiences all the way back then, or maybe even with Kiss Alive. Whatever you want, just share it with us in the comments. We're going to start breaking it down, starting with track number 1, Room Service. Who wants to kick us off talking about Room Service? I think it's a really good song.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to hear, what you guys think. So, Jeb, what do you think about Room Service?
I don't know if I have any crazy thoughts about it. I mean, I love this song like I love all the other songs on the album, but
How does it compare to a normal Kiss album opener?
it's
Because I feel like it's honestly not in that upper echelon.
Yes.
When we talk about Kiss album openers, you got what? I Stole Your Love,
Right.
Exciter.
yeah.
Even like I Want You.
I Want You.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had enough. Into the Fire.
Yeah.
Modern Day Delilah, Psycho Circus. You know what I mean? So
That's a great point. I think it's, it kind of makes sense given the whole backstory behind the album and how it's just really kind of just thrown together.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
A
just
little
like,
hodgepodgey.
it's
yeah.
very hodgepodgey. It's very just quick, get it done. Neil Bogart's like, we ain't got a lot of money.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of shining through. Is
Yeah.
this whole like we're on a budget? We gotta
Exactly. I mean, I think it's a fine opener. It's not, one of the standout tracks, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I think it's a solid opener, but I don't think it's like one of those where that had to be the opener. You know what I mean? Like all
Right.
those other albums you just talked about, like that song was the clear choice for opening the album. Whereas I feel like you could probably rearrange Dress to Kill and
could.
it would be fine or potentially better.
Oh man,
What would you want to?
I was
That's a
just
good
about
question.
to ask.
I haven't thought about that
I
till
was
just
about
now,
to-
so I
in
don't
my
know.
mind, this is also different, but I think anything for My Baby could be a cool.
As the
Starts
album
out
opener,
kind of like drums, but a cappella, and then it kicks
Yeah.
in like. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
I like
dun,
that.
dun.
That's
I'm
actually, that's one of my favorite songs on the album.
It would
so.
be more memorable than Room Service,
Yeah.
in a way,
I
Room
was-
Service is solid, but
Right.
yeah.
I was thinking, "Come On and Love Me."
Okay.
You don't want to get the best track out of the way.
Well, why not? Why not? Psycho Circus,
You take the needle off.
Sonic
and don't
Boom.
even have to finish the damn thing.
Well, I mean,
I like that you have to wait for it.
Yeah.
You have to get
Yeah.
through these songs. You're like, okay, good song, good song.
but it's the first single, and it was buried so deep into the album. I just feel like that it's such a good song.
I do think it needs to be moved up.
perfect-
I don't know about first.
I don't know. I think "Come On and Love Me" is maybe.
I would do that as track number 2.
Maybe you do want the first song out of the way because this album does kind of like dip a little bit. I mean, we're about to get into like Two Timer and stuff. So
I was gonna say, I personally feel like, for the most part, the second half of this album is much stronger
oh
than the first.
and you're not alone in that.
rare.
We're gonna get to that absolutely 100%
Yeah.
because you're not wrong. But as far as Room Service goes, I think it's a really cool song. I did find a quote from Paul Stanley. This is in the History book. Paul says, "We had cassette players next to our beds. We listened to rock music. We had girls around us all the time. We hung out at the Rainbow Club. We either ate room service or in diners."
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this song clearly kind of talks about the rock star's life
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
you go from hotel to hotel, from venue to venue, from city to city. You're just traveling on the road.
Yeah.
And this whole album is essentially that.
Yeah, it's definitely an album inspired by being just touring relentlessly.
This is a real rock band on tour album. I mean, yes, we can talk about how they were forced to kind of pump these songs out as fast as possible. You know, you really didn't have enough time to like do multiple takes. You know, they couldn't even hire a producer. They had to have Neil Bogart produce it. So, you know, all that shines through, but that also pushes you to your artistic, you know, limits.
Sometimes,
and it forces you to.
Yeah, sometimes constraints actually really help creativity. So.
Yes, and I think that's what helped Kiss on these first 3 albums, was that they kind of were being forced to pump this out as much as possible, as fast as possible. I think that they could have made better music had they spent more time on it. You could have gotten, you know, more guitar solos. But it's nice to be like, hey, you know, what can we do in a pinch?
Yeah.
And you have songs like Anything for My Baby, and, you know, they were reaching in the barrel with She and Love Her All I Can, trying to get some Wicked Lester songs, but it all worked out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you get a song like Room Service that is a lot different than some of the earlier classic Kiss songs. Yeah. But for instance, the rhyme scheme is very interesting in Room Service, because I feel like most Kiss rhyme schemes, or even just rock and roll in general, is a very typical A B or A B B, whatever. It's just very simple like that. Yeah. But this one is A B C B, and it's really weird. So check out this line: "My plane's delayed, and I'm afraid they're gonna keep me waiting here till 9. Then a stewardess in a tight blue dress says, 'I got the time.'"
Yeah.
So you have delayed and afraid.
Cool. Okay.
That is pretty cool. I see it too.
I didn't know what you meant at first.
Yeah. So you have delayed, afraid, 9. But then you have stewardess and dress, which is new. But then it goes back to the 9 rhyme with time. So it's A.
Wow,
B,
that's a good catch.
CCB. And it was like, that's such a weird rhyme scheme that maybe they've done something similar. But for early Kiss, you know, Paul was pushing the pen a little bit, or at least trying to, you know, come up with different ways and different phrasings of things. But I will admit that beyond that, some of the verses are a little wordy. The lines are, you know, again, it's very early Kiss, and I love that.
I do love Paul's like different vocal inflections on this song too, though. Like towards the beginning when he's like, "I'm gonna scream," like stuff like that. It's just so good.
Exactly. Yeah, you can definitely tell where maybe in a few years Paul would have wanted to go back and redo that. You know, maybe, but they don't have the budget. They don't have the time. Go. So you're really capturing.
It's classic Paul Stanley. It's those little quirks.
Yes,
a lot of
it's very quirky. Yeah,
absolutely. Very quirky. So how about Two Timer? Let's get into Two Timer.
I have almost nothing to say about Two Timer.
I think it's just as good as any other shitty Kiss song. And I mean that. And I don't mean that in a mean way.
You mean shitty Gene song?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like all those songs anyway. So to me, it's like
totally.
It's
I
no
love
different
Two Timer.
than I like it just as much as I like
keep in mind that our least favorite Kiss song is still a good Kiss song.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Two Timer, maybe even Ladies in Waiting, is where we're like you already have Gene's earliest like filler, where he's like phoning it in a little bit. Again, though, they're under these tremendous constraints as far as, you know, how much time they have to do this.
Gene can just pump out any song.
Gene writes one
like
song a day.
Exactly, and it shows.
Almost no thought into it.
And then goes back and then puts all those, a month worth of lyrics into one song, and then it says, boom, there you go. And then does that 12 times, you know, for every month, and there's your album. That's what Gene's formula is. But anyway, Two Timer, written by Gene only, and it was written during the recording of the album, which... Very, you know, it was written in the studio.
Makes sense.
I kind of like the harmonies on that song. Just like the whole album's got some pretty good harmonies.
Yeah, they really do.
And the chorus is like, you know, it's not
about the only thing going for. I mean, it's just, but I mean, it's a fine song, but I just don't. Yeah, I wonder, maybe Gene got hurt. Maybe he got burned. Maybe his girl 2 times. I mean, he thought, man, I'm putting you on the track, like not by name, but. I got to get my feelings out, you know, and this was like the extent of Gene's emotional depth at a young 23, 24, 5-year-old.
It's possible.
I don't think Gene does that.
No, I know. I'm totally kidding. I'm just saying.
Because he likes phrases, and, you know, I think he probably heard the term Two-Timer somewhere, and it was like, that's a song.
Right, yeah. I don't think he is always writing from the heart, necessarily.
Yeah.
And then there's a part where it says, she's a 2-time... What?
He's the biggest 2-timer.
Oh, Gene? Yeah. Shannon could have played that back for a time or two. 2-timer. Anyway, So, okay, let's move on to Ladies in Waiting. Again, another... I feel like these two would have been
weird
better
song.
spaced apart.
Yes, agreed
much
100%.
This
Because
is
I
not a
feel
good
pretty
1,
much
2, 3.
I feel pretty much the same about both of these songs, and I do feel like they should have
Yeah.
some really solid ones. Dividing
They
them
should
up.
really do better to break up the
Maybe Gene and Paul could have traded back and forth on one of these songs,
Oh,
like
way
lead vocal wise.
better.
That would have just
Yeah.
added so much to it, I feel like. But no, we get 2 dry Gene
And
songs
repetitive.
back to back.
His songs are very, very repetitive
These ones are
on
very.
this album.
Yeah,
Same
these ones are.
Yeah.
Again, they're under so much constraints.
There's
that
like
it's...
very few lyrics, and the lyrics that are there are just what?
Yeah.
This one especially, like talking about the meat at the beginning.
Oh, you've been to the market?
Oh, what?
So you've been to the market and the
Yeah.
meat is looking fine.
Ugh.
With the ladies in
really,
waiting.
it's
Ugh.
really a.
I don't like
an
Some choice
analogy.
words. I mean, that's
Yeah.
very specific.
Ew.
It paints a picture and it creates a smell. But anyway, so
Well-
here's something interesting about this song. Okay. Did you know that not only was it written in the studio in one afternoon,
Of course.
and it was taught to the band that day, but Gene actually plays guitar.
He plays rhythm on that one.
You knew
Oh,
that. You knew that.
that's
And it
cool. I
is
didn't know
rhythm.
that.
It is. I was wondering,
He
because I was like,
plays
there's no
rhythm
way he's
guitar.
playing.
There was one where
lead.
Ace
No.
played everything, like the bass and the
Oh,
guitars and
that
shit.
happened a few
One
times.
or two.
Cool.
No,
Happened a
Paul
few
did.
times.
Well, we're not there yet. Okay.
But I did not
Same.
know that Gene played guitar
Me neither.
on Ladies in Waiting. So Jeb's like, you're way behind. But anyway,
No,
I thought
read
that was kind of
last night
cool.
on Google. That song. It's got something. Well, the guitar sounds kind of heavy.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a darker, like heavier-ish sound. Like that kind of sounds cool because everything else sounds like really bright and upbeat. Now it's like a little slightly lower tempo. It's like a little bit of heavier thing going on, but
Yeah.
with the lyrics and even his, Gene's cartoonish vocal style on that song comes through in a way that's just like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you're not in, you're gonna be put off by it. But if you were a kid in '75, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
at the end of the day, it is what it is. Not like, I guess, the worst song in the world, but
No.
definitely not as good as Getaway.
No.
Track number 4
Awesome.
is Getaway, and
Yeah.
this is one of the best songs on the album.
I feel
My
like I
personal
did not
opinion.
really appreciate this song until these few listens.
Okay,
It
for
has
sure.
grown on me a lot. I love Peter's voice. It's a lot more. Did I thought I saw this in the credits? Did Ace write this song?
Ace wrote
Ace
this.
wrote it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I think it's well written. Peter sounds amazing. I assume Peter played drums on it as
Yep,
well.
yep,
The
yep.
All four
drums,
members are on the album.
the drums sound amazing on this song. It's
They
fantastic.
sound huge.
Yeah.
They sound huge.
Isn't that strange? I mean, they had no budget for a producer, and that ended up being the best sounding record of the first 3. Isn't that
Yeah.
weird?
Yeah,
Sounds
I mean,
way better.
well,
than-
because it's just them in the studio. As soon as you try and, like, again, the first album, they had a little bit of polish to it, and it's like Kiss
it doesn't sound
isn't
right,
about the
though.
polish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine if you
Well,
do
to
it.
me,
It makes it
Dress to
sound
Kill
sophisticated.
Sounds like polished.
Sounds
You know
what?
I mean? To me, Dress to Kill sounds polished.
Really? I don't think it was produced
Well,
at all.
it sounds clean. Like it sounds.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's clean, yeah.
That's what I mean by polished.
Well-
Not like touched up in the studio.
Right.
Like,
Right.
They did put a bunch of overdubs and muddied it up and all that crap. No, you're right. It sounds natural is what
Yes.
it means.
Yeah,
sounds
it does.
clean and natural.
It does.
The drums especially sound freaking
Oh my
great
gosh.
on the album.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest thing in the mix. When even for that time in '75, I don't think a lot of other bands have their drums sounding that good. But it was a fluke because Neil Bogart's just
Yeah.
whatever take is good. Let's go
Yeah, move on. Exactly. But Getaway, I think, is one of the stronger tracks on the album.
easily.
And-
That's deep cut.
Best deep cut, and it's very different for Ace. I feel like Ace has a very specific style. I'm not very good at articulating it, but when he, like, Cold Gin, Parasite,
Yeah.
those are clearly
There's a
Strange
specific
Ways.
vibe, yeah.
Those are all clearly
Yeah.
Ace songs, but Getaway is the one where people forget.
I wouldn't have guessed if I hadn't
No.
looked at the credits
Well, I
on
would
it.
assume Paul.
I would
wrote
assume
it
Paul or
something.
Peter. I mean, it's so it screams Peter, and Peter screams in the song. But like to me, it just screams Peter. It's just perfect for his voice.
Yeah.
And again, get away, don't want to stay, leaving tomorrow by some way. It's about getting on the road and getting out, and it's just one more song that fits in with
about being
this
on the
whole
road.
theme.
Oh, and Ace's solo on that one sounds really cool.
Yeah.
He uses some kind of effect on there, and they never use a lot of effects, but that one stands out as a really cool, all around great Ace song. And
Yeah,
Peter,
and
Peter, collaboration, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
I think they've done that before. Well, besides Cold Jan, isn't there one that...
Well, Strange Ways, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
Ace
yeah.
wrote Strange Ways, but then
Peter
they threw it
sang
to
it.
Peter, otherwise he was going to quit.
That's another phenomenal song.
That's a great
Yeah.
song.
Wow.
I love that song. I love Getaway as well, and it was the B-side for both Come On and Love Me and Rock and Roll Night, which I think gets forgotten because what a killer B-side
Yeah, wow.
is Getaway.
It's kind of insulting to Peter. I mean, he got Beth as a B-side. I feel like they just gave him all the B-sides to appease him.
Well, but he got his, though, because they turned the record over and started playing Beth.
I was going to say, and Beth ended
That
up being the
case,
biggest
yeah.
song.
And that became, they got a People's Choice Award and everything. But, yeah, Getaway. Great track. Lyrically, it's very simple, but I don't even care because it's Peter Criss that elevates
It's
the
simple
track.
but good. It's simple in a different way than the Gene ones are simple.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
This one, I feel like, still has a little bit of substance to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's just great vocals. It almost sounds like Peter's vocals are layered. Like
Yeah,
maybe he's singing, like he sang it and then went back and did another track.
Maybe.
And is singing with himself, because he sounds like he's harmonizing with himself, and it just sounds so big and so...
Talking about
Awesome.
the chorus or just in the verses? Like double track?
I think it might be double tracked. Yeah, in the verses.
Oh.
Maybe.
That does... It wouldn't surprise me.
But I don't know. Cool song, great song. Love Peter's vocal. Okay, what do we think is better, Getaway or Baby Driver?
Ooh.
What's the better Peter vocal?
I gotta go back and listen to Baby Driver.
I was going to say,
I don't know if I could even choose.
I don't know if I can choose, especially because I just really got into Getaway, whereas
Yeah.
I've always loved Baby Driver.
Sure,
So that's tough.
for sure.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought it'd be interesting to ask that question though, because they're both such killer songs.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to say Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. I mean, Rock and Roll Over is like
They're
one of
both
the best Kiss albums ever.
I know.
I mean, hands down.
All killer, no filler.
All killer, no filler. This album's got a little bit of filler, but Rock and Roll Over said we ain't having none of it.
That's right.
Speaking of filler, let's go to Rock Bottom with a 1 minute and 57-second acoustic guitar intro to make that album a little bit thicker. And still, it only got to 30 minutes, the whole
Yeah.
album.
That's really short.
But almost 2 minutes of an acoustic intro. It's pretty.
I love it. It's beautiful.
That is a
It was
gorgeous...
written by
It takes
Ace.
me like
That
to
was
another
writ-
planet.
That was written by Ace.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a You know what? I didn't know it was written by Ace. But now that you say that, it kind of reminds me of like his Fractured series on his, the soft intros, and he just kind of takes.
You know
that
what it reminded
instrumental.
me of? It's funny you say that because it made me think of Stratosphere, which is his instrumental off of 10,000 volts.
Gosh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Well,
Which I know you haven't heard 10,000
which
volts.
stems from.
Which stems from, the whole fractured mirror and all that. But
Yeah.
But yeah, no, first of all, I didn't really piece it together. I mean, I should have. It's obvious that it was written by Ace. It's written by Ace, that intro piece, and then it was played by both Ace and Paul
Right.
together.
I think they had a 12-string guitar on top, I think.
Probably.
It's beautiful.
And then I know Paul wrote the second half of the actual song itself.
Actual song Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome.
I love Rock
the,
Bottom.
The intro is great. I love, it's that classic, Black Diamond where they give you the acoustic,
Right.
and then it goes into it. They would do the same thing on I Want You from
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit extended, the intro, but yeah, once it kicks in. It's unrelenting. It never gives up. I love Rock Bottom.
I love this song too. However, my favorite version will always be the unplugged version.
Ah,
It
For sure.
just is
Absolutely.
absolutely top tier.
Yes, great version.
Yeah.
I was also thinking this was a cool song that they brought back for the reunion tour,
yeah, that's
where they actually had Ace and Paul on stage together playing that intro,
Right.
and then going in. That's such a deep cut. I feel like, if you were there in the crowd just as a, as a casual fan,
Right.
you wouldn't know what that song is. But if you were a diehard fan who is just blown away at seeing original Kiss for the first time together again, Rock Bottom is like, that's Kiss alive. That's
Yeah.
classic Kiss. So but definitely the unplugged version is
So
goated.
good.
Everything on unplugged is pretty stellar. But
Yeah, it is.
yeah, great song. Next song on the album, we're officially getting into side B now.
The good stuff.
And side B of this album is where things kick up a notch. I mean,
Yeah.
starting off with Come On and Love Me, which to me is the best song on the album.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
No notes.
I mean, it's literally perfect.
Yeah.
This is the one where it's like, okay, there was no slouching on this.
No.
This was one that was like fully fleshed out. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it's
Like some of the other songs didn't even have guitar solos. It was just repeated choruses and all that.
very repetitive.
But this one, again, it was like you have a very defined intro, verse, chorus.
Yeah.
It's so
Um,
well written.
it's so
and I'm sorry, the lyrics at the beginning are just so good.
I know that I'm a Capricorn.
She's
That is one of the coolest Kiss lines there is.
It rhymes so well. It's so unique and specific, and like just that line will get stuck in my head.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That is a great. Everything
romance.
about it is perfect. I mean, like the whole arrangement, again, like you said, the way it's just structured, and it just the way it sounds. That everything came together for Come On. And did you know that Paul Stanley did the guitar intro?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
cool.
that's his lead on the intro. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Paul gets a lead there.
I also love the lyric. I never, even though I knew this lyric, I know the words to this song, I never really thought about it until this time when he says, "You're good looking, and you're looking like you should be good."
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's
good looking,
but
you're
also
looking like you
very
should be
clever. I love that so
That
much.
sounds like a lyric that could be in Strutter.
What is that? I'm a man. I'm no baby, and you're
Look at every
inch
inch
of
of
lady.
lady. That's
Yes. That is so
How do you write a
Kiss.
song like that?
That is
I don't know.
so
It's awesome,
Kiss.
though.
That is so Paul Stanley.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, every line of that just oozes cool.
Yes.
Paul claims to have wrote it in less than an hour.
That's amazing.
That's a talent.
Yeah.
How? Apparently it was written in less than 1 hour, and it was inspired by a song called Question by Moody Blues.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The Moody Blues.
And I checked it out, and so the intro with the dun 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 dun, that's
Same thing.
That's very
Very
close
similar, yeah.
to the Moody Blues, which Kiss had a habit of lifting certain things
absolutely.
and kind of mashing it,
Borrowing.
borrowing it, as they would say, and putting it into their song. But the craziest thing about this song is that I'd even said on the show, I was like, man, if they had released "Come On and Love Me" as a single, it would have done so well. It was
was
released
the single, yeah.
as the first single, and it did nothing.
That's
so
crazy.
So
It blows my mind.
so I'm not even sure what I was talking about back then. Like, it was definitely released as a
It
single,
just
but
doesn't feel like it.
it didn't chart. It
Yeah.
didn't chart. It didn't do anything.
That should have been as big as Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah.
It should have been huge. I feel like it's a pop rock song. It's perfect. Like, it's perfect for radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's perfect for summer. It's perfect for spring. I know it was released in March. It's just a perfect
I was
song.
doing the winter. I don't care.
I don't care. Exactly.
Spring, summer, fall, winter. That's good. Stuff.
Agreed. No, I think it's a perfect song. How it didn't chart, I don't know. But I think it was smart to release it as the first single. I feel like out of all the songs, even Rock and Roll All Night, I feel like this one is still the most complete.
Right.
Because Rock and Roll All Night
absolutely.
still has that repetitive chorus, kind of
Yes.
like Two Timer and Ladies in Waiting. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But Come On and Love Me, man, is a masterpiece.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
Probably it's got to be in the top 10 best songs of the 70s for Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I can
top
see that.
5 maybe. I don't know.
Agreed. And this one, I also genuinely enjoy, and that's Anything for My Baby.
I love this song.
Yeah.
This one, Jeb, I want to know if you remember our origins with this, because if you remember
From the
from the Kiss-Tree video,
I haven't seen that in so long.
I know, right?
I need to go back and see it because they cut it from the Kissology.
I know I couldn't believe I cut it from the
I hate
Kissology,
that.
but in that video,
But no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, in that video that they played at the on the farewell tour, I think it was before the show for everybody else.
I'm in love.
But we saw it. Yeah, they played a little snippet of Anything for My Baby. But we didn't have the album as kids.
No, we didn't.
We didn't own a copy until we were in middle school and high school. So for the longest time, probably a decade as kids, probably a decade or more, we had no idea what that song was. All
Yeah.
we knew was just those 10 seconds maybe. And so
Yeah.
I'll never forget when we went to Walmart one time, back when, again, we were like middle school, high school. We went to Walmart, bought the CD, came home, put it in, and was looking through. We knew we knew Rock and Roll All Night,
Right.
we knew Come On and Love Me.
Yeah.
But we were like, what? Love Her All I Can, what's this? Room Service, never heard of that. So we're listening to all these songs, we get to this one. And as soon as we hear the dun 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 dun,
You
we're
know.
like, oh my gosh, this is the one.
There it is.
And so we knew the first 10, 15 seconds, the first
Yes.
couple lines. And then once it got in, we didn't know because we never heard it. So
I
that
can
was,
still-
I'll never forget that moment of us finally getting that full circle moment.
Yeah.
That's true. I can still visualize what that video, because that whole compilation they did for that Kiss-Tree video, as you
Yeah.
recall, was so freaking cool and well done that as soon as that part came on, I could just visualize what was happening in the video.
It was the Cadillac footage of them.
Yes.
Of them outside in front of the firehouse or whatever it was, City Hall.
Oh, it was such an awesome video.
Such an awesome video. I'll have to watch that at some point. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. But anyway, yeah, what's interesting about this is that it also has a very similar intro to Rock and Roll All
I
Night.
was gonna bring that up and say that's my biggest gripe with it.
That's your biggest gripe.
I
Okay.
hate that.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I like the I like the a cappella sort of intro behind the drums.
Me too.
And the bombastic, explosion after that. But I think it's because the first time I heard that, I thought it was Rock and Roll Night, and then it did
And it
something
wasn't,
else, and
yeah.
then, like wires got crossed in my
Yeah,
brain.
it throws you
I freaking
off.
hated it.
I think I had the same thing. I think it was that night when we bought the album. I was like, wait, what?
Same thing
It was
with
kind of a
You're like,
Crazy
already?
Nights. There's a song that sounds just like Crazy Nights, the same guitar.
Bang Bang
riff.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah, Bang Bang You
I was
sounds
like, I like the
exactly.
song, but the intro, it just like...
Right, so
oh,
similar.
I can hear it, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So that bugged me, but no, it's a killer song.
It's a great song. It's another one of those ones that is kind of repetitive, but it works for this song.
Yeah.
It gives me kind of like a 60s kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost like Motown-y.
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
can see that.
I agree. And what I like about it is that obviously you have some songs like Ladies in Waiting where it's talking about going to the market and the meat looks fine tonight. But here's, she looked good, she looked hotter than hell. Okay,
Right.
great, fine. But here's a song where it's like, I'll do anything.
It's
for
actually
my
a love
baby.
song, yeah.
You know what I mean? When I wake up and she's beside me,
Also, that lyric, he says, in the morning when, or something
oh,
very close.
almost close to in the
It's-
morning when I
there's like-
raise my head.
Yeah, there's like one word that's different. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but in the morning when I raise my head, it makes
She's
me think,
beside me.
yeah, it makes me think of I Want You. I feel like there's a third Kiss song that says that
Really?
we've caught before.
In the morning when I raise my head.
Yes, because I feel like we've
Hmm.
had this discussion before, and yet this is the first time we've broken this album down. So
Wow.
I wish I could remember what it was, but
It'll come up.
he has little lyrics like that he likes to repeat over
Oh
time.
yeah. And one of them was in Come On I Love You, where it's like down on my knees.
Mm-hmm.
How many times has that Kiss lyric says down on my knees? There's a song called Down on Your Knees or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's one of those repetitive lyrics. But I like this song. And there's another Paul quote that he says, we were going for song content and not really thinking about elaborating on it musically, whatever that meant, solos or any other filler. So there was no guitar solo in this song. So Paul's kind of saying, we were kind of just going for song as opposed to
It's a drum solo.
elaborating musically. Do what?
Isn't there a drum solo in it? Or is that a different
That's a
thing?
different song. I think I know what you're talking about. But the drums in this one are cool because the chorus is like anything for my baby. It's like it's almost like a drum fill for the chorus,
Yeah.
and that's so
That is
interesting
a
because
weird
you don't really get
chorus.
that. And then even the dun 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 dun, for Peter Criss, not that it's like anything like too crazy or anything like that, but it's just so unique and so cool that it almost reminds me of what Kevin Valentine did on Raise Your Glasses from Psycho Circus. That album is just some really cool intricate drumming. But yeah, so this song I feel like Peter Criss is just on fire.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It really does stand out. I mean, even just for the sound alone with the stuff he's playing, just tight in the pocket. It's just like really on it.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I feel like that, the whole album.
I feel like this song would have been over really well live. I feel like this
Ooh.
should have been one in the set list because they could have started off with the whole anything for my baby, but you get the crowd chanting that,
Yeah.
and then Paul does wheelin' deal,
Yeah.
and on all that. That could
Especially
be a really
because
cool
of the
live
group
song.
vocals. Anytime
yeah.
where they're like chanting something together, that's
And they're always
so
chanting something
good.
together. Yeah,
Is there any live recordings of that? Do they ever? I can't think of any.
not this lineup, but you know the current Kiss did a few
on
times
the
on the
Kiss
Kiss
Cruise.
Cruise. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
But not the
No.
but not the original Kiss that
Right.
I know
Not
of.
tour.
That I know of. Please, somebody in the
Could have been
comments
on a
send me a
live.
demo or send me a live link. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A link
Prove
to a
us
live
wrong.
video.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would love that. But I think it would have been a great song to go over live,
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm with you.
and we can all guarantee that this song went over well live. She. Side B is killing it.
It
Man. I'm
really
telling
is.
You,
Banger after
Come On
banger.
and Love Me, Anything for My Baby. She is just classic Kiss.
It's perfect.
Through and through. Actually, it's
10 out of
classic
10.
Wicked Lester.
Yeah.
We've
Without
all
the flutes.
without the flutes. Which,
Oh, I forgot about
which
that.
hot take, I missed the flutes. I think the flute should have been the only instrument in the thing. There should have been no lyrics. There should have been nothing.
just flute solo.
They should
4
have called it
minutes.
she. Just call it flute. No, I'm just playing.
4 minute flute solo.
4 minute flute solo. Doing well for others. Flute noises.
That would have. Kiss could have been something. If Wicked Lester would have taken off.
Oh,
Dude.
Kiss
It
would
would
have
have
been.
been a very
I
different
don't think
band.
we'd be sitting here right now.
Probably
No,
not.
the Wicked Lester podcast, the one album they had. No, but anyway, She is a great song. And like Jeb, you mentioned in the beginning, that was one that predated this album. They were playing that in their set list since the beginning of time, since the beginning of Kiss.
Yeah.
So only now is it actually making it to an album, which is crazy.
Very strange.
Because why? I think Watching You was also like that too, where they were playing Watching You
Oh yeah.
before the recording of the first album, and yet Watching You didn't make it until the second album.
That's so crazy because both of those songs are so good.
Let Me Go Rock and Roll
Yeah.
didn't make it until the second album, even though these were all songs that were being played, and it's like, I don't know, maybe they just
different
didn't believe in it
iterations
at the
of it,
time.
adding things, taking things away from it. Like in the demos, it's different from the the album version. The album version is different from the one on Double Platinum. The way they play it live is different. It's like I don't know how that happens, but
But I feel like
she is a great song.
This song is perfectly crafted.
Oh,
Absolutely
You have a killer riff,
heavy,
heavy,
but not too heavy.
It's heavy, but it's
grooving.
also just a vibe.
It's got groove.
It's groove. It's a heavy groove.
Yes.
Anthrax nailed this too.
Well, and this is one where, like, there's not that many lyrics to this song either, but it doesn't need any more lyrics than it has. And the
Right.
ones that it has are so cool and, like, just set this moody tone. Like the Enchanted... What is it? Enchanted Starlight or something?
Oh yeah, Enchanted Starlight.
That's so good.
The lyrics in this song are kick-ass. And,
Yeah.
And
The harmonies are
harmonies are great.
really
Yeah.
freaking great.
And I just mentioned how it was recorded by Wicked Lester, but it was actually written in Gene's Bullfrog beer days.
I think it was back
Is
to like
what?
the '60s.
So Gene had a band before Wicked Lester,
Okay.
called Bullfrog
Bullfrog
Beer.
Beer. I
don't think I knew that.
Beer spelled Bheer, and he and Stephen Cornell wrote this song. Stephen Cornell wrote the riff, and Gene wrote the lyrics, and then it was used in Wicked Lester
Wow.
before
That's
it was
a really
abandoned
old song.
and brought
Very
back
old.
by Kiss.
Wasn't Bullfrog? Was that early '70s or was that late?
That would have
60s?
been late '60s.
Yeah.
that would have had to been late '60s.
Crazy.
But Bullfrog Beer was the one that originally wrote this, and
That's
then Wicked
so
Lester
interesting.
recorded it, and then it was made famous by Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So third time's the charm, I guess, in this case. But speaking of borrowing, Kiss borrowed a lot for this song. Gene, in particular, got the lyrics "She Walks by Moonlight" from the movie Hondo. I feel like most Kiss fans have heard this before, but in case we haven't or need a refresher, there's a movie called Hondo where
This is all news.
where the
Me
native
too.
where a Native American chief tells this cowboy, I guess this cowboy is interested in the Native American chief's daughter, and he says, "You can't have her." Well, why not? Because she walks by moonlight. And Gene
That's a
said,
great
"Oh,
line.
I'm taking that
Yeah.
and making that."
I think that's great to take
Yeah.
a lyric from a film.
Gene,
That's awesome.
and Gene did that a
I
couple
don't even
times
consider that borrowing. It's just
No.
like that's just good inspiration.
Yeah.
for sure.
It's different. I feel like it is different when you're taking it from another song and then
Correct,
when
yeah.
you're
Or like
taking
a
it from a different form
source.
of media.
Sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
like it's a story to begin
Yes.
with. You know, take you know.
Yeah.
Right,
No, I
uh,
like that. That's
Oh, Ace's guitar solo was ripped.
Bingo. Yeah, Ace's guitar
Which
solo.
got ripped by another big band to come 20
Yes,
years after the fact.
Exactly. So
Everyone knows who we're talking about.
that classic solo, that She solo, which we all love.
Just
That-
a part of it.
What is it? The pentatonic scale? That's all it is, really, isn't it? It's just a pentatonic scale.
Sure, but there's one specific part of the solo that was
That comes
taken
from
note
5 to 1.
5 to 1 from the Doors.
From the Doors.
Oh, okay.
And it was taken note for note. Like,
Yeah.
It's not inspired by it.
No. It was
like-
ripped note for note, and then Pearl Jam on their song
Yeah.
called Alive.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
ironic.
great.
It's
Yeah.
one of their biggest songs.
Yeah. Pearl Jam on Alive.
And then he took the
Ripped it
same,
note
the
for
same
note.
part of the solo. And
So interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Because he originally thought he ripped it from Ace, and then someone told him, like, no, Ace got that from
From the Doors.
the Doors. So,
Pretty cool.
very cool.
Well, yeah, so Kiss, I mean, they've been very open about their influences and everything, but it's just, I don't know, it's cool stuff.
But Ace's was way better.
It makes me wonder what if this song hadn't been recorded. Because this song, it made it onto Kiss Alive. It made it onto so many of the sets, the Kiss Cruise. It's like we said, tried and true Kiss
Double
classic. Double platinum. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, what if it hadn't been recorded?
Well, I mean, you take away any element of what they had going on, and something's gonna.
Because
All
on
through.
Kiss Alive, that was before the dun na 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 na. So I guess I would have been watching it like it was in the tour before. But again, it's just one of those things where you change one thing and it all is different.
Yeah. Changes
And
everything.
this song has it all: drums, bass,
Yeah.
guitar, rhythm guitar, and lead, both, everything. The only thing it's missing is cowbell. I don't think there's any cowbell. Not that it needs it, but it's got great harmonies.
I was gonna say the
it's got
vocal
good
harmonies are
licks.
so good.
It's a perfect song.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, speaking of loving it, how about Lover All I Can? This is the song that has the drum solo or the drum break,
damn it.
which I think is one of the best drum breaks.
It's awesome.
In all of rock and roll, but specifically Kiss 3.
Peter Criss just he goes crazy on that.
He rocked.
That sounds great.
He rocked the fuck out of those drums.
Oh
he killed it. This song is fantastic. It was written by Paul and Paul only.
Makes sense.
I think it shows. It's perfect.
Makes
It's a
sense.
perfect Paul song. A perfect Star Child song.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yes.
This one is.
Well, and this kind of like Anything for My Baby is actually like a
nice song.
a more like heartfelt love type of song instead of like a
Love her all we
sleazy
can,
rock and roll kind
I'll
of
do
song.
anything for his baby.
Yeah, it's cute. I love this song. This song is very like Beatle-y to me.
Yes.
Like,
Really?
Yes.
I never thought of it like that.
Like I can.
Yes, you mentioned this when we did our Kiss Rocks Vegas Kiss Spotlight. We watched Kiss Rocks Vegas recently, the acoustic portion.
Did I say that then too?
Yes.
See, I don't even remember that, but I thought of it again.
As soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, you're right. It's the vocals. I remember you saying it when we did our we did a spotlight for the acoustic portion of Kiss Rocks Vegas.
That was so good.
And she was talking about how the harmonies.
Oh, you're talking about. I was thinking of Paul's. I was thinking of the chorus, but now I completely forgot about the.
I remember the times
that's
I was
very
lonely
good.
without her.
Those I can hear the Beatles.
3-part harmonies, Kiss.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
dude,
it almost certainly was inspired by. I mean,
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But so clearly Kiss, they kind of borrowed some things from the Beatles, the Doors, whatever. Here's something about this song that I think is totally awesome and something that you would see in metal for years to come until this day. So during the part before the drum break, I think, or there's a part where you have the it's almost like finger tapping and cymbal catches. It's total like Metallica and Slipknot. Not in tone because those bands are in a lower tune.
Right.
But you've got Ace. It's very metal.
I can see that.
It's like proto metal. It's like metal before metal. Fast forward 10 years, and you got thrash metal bands like Megadeth and Anthrax and Slayer and Metallica pulling off killer stuff like that with the cymbal catches and those really fast, tapping passages and everything. It's really cool. Kiss was like ahead of the curve here. Not saying that they invented that because I'm sure other bands were doing it in the late 60s, early 70s, but here Kiss is, man, just burning it down on track, on wax, man. And this song, I think, is awesome.
Yeah, I love this song.
It is a great song.
So, yeah, another quote from Paul here. We have started off with a guitar part that was influenced or stolen, depending upon how you want to look at it, from the guitar opening figure in Can't Explain by The Who. And the guitar bass figure is ripped off from Open My Eyes by Nas. And that was a quote from Paul from the box set notes.
Oh.
So Paul's, again, just very open about like...
Straight up says,
this is where I got
off.
this is where we got that. We put 2 and 2 together and we wrote some new lyrics, called it a new song. But how many other artists do you know that would be honest? They would say, oh no, we created that from the ethos, man. We that was so... It's like, no. Everything came from somebody else and something else.
Well, and that's just
and
art.
Kiss is
like,
so...
that's just... Especially when you're honest about it. Like, that's just...
Yes.
You're influenced by the things that you consume.
They weren't... go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
They weren't nearly as bad and unethical as Led Zeppelin was.
Yeah.
With their, like, full-blown plagiarism.
Led Zeppelin?
They didn't borrow. They took.
From...
all kinds of old blues artists.
Oh, yeah.
That
makes sense.
Their first album is
all plagiarized.
Wow. And a lot of the stuff later on, but their first album especially was like, even Stairway to Heaven's not theirs.
I know they pulled heavily from Tolkien.
Well, that's just lyrically.
No. I'm talking about musically.
You're talking about like actual notes and melodies
and songs,
rhythms.
well, and lyrics too.
Wow,
they've been in so many lawsuits.
Interesting.
Over the years, like they have a really bad reputation.
Wow,
like Led Zeppelin.
I did not know that.
I don't think I did
really bad.
Well, Kiss
like
is...
full songs from artists from like old like Willie Dixon, who he he sued Led Zeppelin once and won.
Wow.
Because he just,
Because
they took.
It sounds like they did it blatantly and weren't honest about it in the way that.
Well, eventually now they would be, but like back in in the 80s when they were getting sued, it was pretty ugly. If you don't know about Zeppelin, I mean, again, even Stairway to Heaven.
That's so interesting. I don't know that.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I give Kiss a pass because they're like, oh, we took a line or like
like part of
a note or a section.
Riff. Yeah. No. So
Zeppelin's ripping whole tunes, whole tracks, for sure. Well, speaking of tunes, how about the greatest tune of all time, "Rock and Roll All Night" this is the defining song, I feel like, for Kiss, or at least it has been for the past 50 years. It's closed almost every concert.
Yep.
It's synonymous with Kiss.
It's synonymous with Kiss. I think it perfectly exemplifies Gene and Paul and their ability to come together. Not really come together, but bring together material to, craft one of rock's finest songs. Neil said, guys, we need an anthem. We need a song. What defines you? What defines rock? And allegedly, according to Paul, at the Continental Hyatt Hotel in L.A., Paul knocked on Gene's door and said, I think I've got it. This anthem that we need. And Gene said, well, great. I've got it, this song called Drive Us Wild. Or Drive You Wild. And they put them together.
Combine them.
And you got Rock and
That's
Roll Night.
awesome. I hope that's true. That's very cool.
And, I mean, we all know that, it's just a tried and true classic rock song. And Paul even talks about saying, we put them together and lo and behold, had a song that spawned a whole viewpoint, which was writing a song that embodied the philosophy of the band and the people who loved the band. And,
And it does that. Goal achieved.
Even though it just says Rock and Roll Night and Party Every Day 100 million times, it gets the point across, I guess.
How do you feel about, do you enjoy listening to it just on the record?
So, yeah, I mean, my thing is that, it's not one of those songs that I actively go to it.
Sure.
Right.
I've never, it's almost
Well,
like,
you're not going to shut off the album before you hear it.
I've never once said, let's listen to Rock and Roll Night, let's listen to Shout Out Loud, let's listen to Beth.
Right.
Those songs. But when it comes time to the actual record, it's in its place. And I feel like, and I'm assuming you're going to disagree, at least a little bit,
Maybe.
and say it's overplayed and it's buried and...
It can't really be overplayed. I mean, I don't know. There's something really weird about that song. I never really enjoy listening to the studio version of it. So in the live setting, when you're there,
you
wouldn't
live.
have it any other way.
Yeah.
Right.
It has to be Rock and Roll Night. I'll sing every lyric, but if I hear it on the radio, I'm like, I can't. It's just, I don't know. It's that one song.
Interesting. Okay, for sure.
Because it doesn't do anything.
No, I get it. I get it because it feels like some of the other songs on Rock and Roll on Dress to Kill, where it's a little bit dry, it's repetitive.
Yeah.
I totally get that. They definitely knew how to elevate it live.
Yeah.
But
I can't say it's overplayed because, it took off for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a great song.
It deserves to be played, but you've just heard it 100 million times.
I really have.
And nothing beats.
And I could
hearing
listen to
it live.
Detroit Rock City 100 million times and it still wouldn't have the same effect. Because that has something else going on.
that song is
Rock and Roll Night is
that song has a lot more substance.
Exactly.
To it,
That's
so,
what I'm saying. So if you've heard Rock and Roll Night once, you've heard it 1,000 times.
Valid.
You've heard it
Rock
all
City.
Rock and Roll Night, yeah.
Detroit Rock City will take you on a journey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The back half of the song is just the chorus.
Right.
And it's but again, it's it took off for a reason. It's as big as it is for a reason. And
yeah, I mean, because I've had this thing too, where it's obviously, we grew up oh, you're a Kiss fan, Rock and Roll Night. It's dude,
that I don't
it's the only song anyone
it's the
knows.
only song.
Yeah.
So I feel like after a while, Kiss fans have loved to, beat this song like a piñata, where they just take out all their anger on this. Not their anger, but they have fun roasting this song.
Yeah.
And I feel like putting it back into context is important because, like Jeb said, this was the song that launched Kiss into superstardom. And I feel like, again, lyrically, I mean, they crafted the song. Girls dancing, partying, shouting, keeping on shouting, rocking and rolling all night, partying every day. It's like rock's finest ingredients went into this song, and they concocted a perfect song.
The song of a generation,
It really is.
A lot of people who were around at that time. If you were 16, and you heard that and you were getting drunk and high and partying, that probably
was your
that
high
might
school
mean a
college
lot
song.
to you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that any other way, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely, I get that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
And I'll never forget when on Howard Stern, when Paul mentioned this, but Eric had to explain it. They mentioned something really cool about Rock and Roll Night, and that's because the song was put together by Gene's verses with Paul's chorus, kind of together. When the chorus kicks in, it doesn't start until beat 2. So there's obviously, you have 4 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 4 beats in a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rock and Roll Night doesn't start until 2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Wanna rock it. So it's weird how, I mean, to us, nobody really thinks about it. But once you break it down, it's weird how the chorus starts on 2 as opposed to 1.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's a very minor thing, but Eric explained on Howard Stern, because Paul's like, I know it, but Eric's better at explaining it, so they threw it to Eric, and Eric's like, yeah, so the chorus comes in on beat 2.
Words for it.
And I thought it was so mesmerizing, even though it was such a small, minute thing. It's like even this song has something left to give.
Yeah.
Over the years. Anyway, we all know it was released as the second single on the album. The B-side, once again, was Getaway. What a great B-side. It reached number 68 on the Billboard singles charts. This was, I believe, Kiss's highest chart at the time. Yeah. Kiss in Time only reached like 90 or something like that, 98. But this was their highest charting single. And yeah, we all know that it pushed them into superstardom. It became one of their biggest songs, especially Kiss Alive.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, on the record, it didn't do anything, but it took until Kiss Alive for that version specifically, really.
Well, and that's the version that like you usually hear on the radio. Like I don't think I've ever heard the studio version of Rock and Roll Nite on classic rock radio.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's the Alive one.
Yeah, but that does close out the record. I think it's a perfect way to close out.
It is a great closer.
Out the record. Here it is, Dressed to Kill, front cover. We all love the back cover.
Yeah.
Back cover.
The front cover, the
front cover is awesome.
The whole thing's amazing, but that inverted image on the back is just so good.
Bob Gruen took that photograph right there. So, and the reason why I'm talking about that is because I was wondering, did you guys hear about this Dressed to Kill audio tour that's happening?
Yes.
Audio what?
The Dressed to Kill audio tour.
Explain.
So Kiss Online is going to be Kiss is having a Dressed to Kill audio tour in New York City on March 22nd. It's a walking tour. And it's going to visit a major point in New York history or in rock and roll history. But it's a exclusive walking tour featuring audio interviews with Gene and Paul and Bob Gruen, the photographer. Wow. And it's going to talk about Dressed to Kill, Kiss in 75, heritage of New York City, limited, I think, for a certain amount of fans to go. And then for anybody who won't be able to be there like us, it'll be on Kiss Online. For you to experience for free.
Yeah, you can still listen to all that.
How awesome is that? That's the kind of stuff I want to see from Pop House.
Because it's such a unique concept. I've never heard of anything like that for a band. That's awesome.
No, me neither. I thought that was such an awesome thing. So if you're going to be in New York and you're going to be checking that out, please let us know how that goes, because that I thought was really cool. Exclusive interviews with Gene and Paul and Bob Gruen. There's going to be a pop-up merch store at Generation Records with special Dressed to Kill merch. So yeah, thanks Pop House. But that's going to conclude our breakdown.
I have one piece of trivia.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Does anyone know what the original working title was instead of Dressed to Kill?
I do. But I'm going to let everybody 5 seconds to figure
throw
out
out their guesses.
Do you know what it is?
I
You don't know
have
what
no
it is?
idea.
So I believe the working title was called Kiss at Midnight.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I actually have heard that before. I have heard that.
Midnight.
Kiss at Midnight. And
That's
then
pretty good.
Not as good as Dressed to Kill, though.
somewhere along the way, it got changed. Now, weren't they going to do the comic book thing where they have...
Right.
Because there's the photos of Kiss wearing business suits walking into the photo booth.
Yes.
And then they come out and they're referencing Man
Superman,
or something like
yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was really, really cool. But this Dressed to Kill tour, let me know, guys, if you're there. I'm going to definitely check it out on Kiss Online. But as we're wrapping up, I'm going to show just a couple of things here. Very, very small. Collector's Corner. Jeb, early this year has been pretty hot. I mean, you saw the tour book, the Animalized tour book.
Oh, that's right.
What else have I been getting, babe? I can't remember. It's so much stuff.
I don't remember.
So much stuff.
Let's look around.
Lots of, of course, Eric Singer's personal copy of Monster.
Correct. Yes.
What if I told you guys I have more items from Eric Singer's personal collection here?
When did you do this?
Last week. And guess what? It's the cheapest stuff on the site.
Okay, great. What is it?
So, yes, I had to go back and get some more items from Eric's personal collection. But I had to do it on a budget. I had to be on a budget, because I just can't be spending all my money. So, I decided to get these stickers. Now, these stickers come from Eric Singer's drum heads. See that monster drum head?
Yes, I do see the sticker
Guess
on there.
what? This is a sticker that was unused for that. And then
That's pretty
this
cool.
is from 2012, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
can tell that from like the
2012 logo. So these are, just drumhead stickers that never got used for Eric Singer's drum heads. But every expo we went to, we would always get a drum head. I'm looking at 4 of them right now.
Yeah.
Super cool stuff.
Wow.
And so when I saw that there was, especially Monster.
Yeah.
because we all know how I feel about Monster, my favorite Kiss album. I just got Eric Singer's personal copy, so I was like, I'm going to get this. And I love this because it's the alternate O. It's the edited O.
Yeah.
Because they had a lawsuit with Monster Energy Drink, so they had to change the O. And yeah, so there it is right there. 2 2012 era. I think it's the same logo, just without Monster.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, there you go. 2 2012 stickers from Eric Singer's Drumhead.
Are you going to use them, or are you just going to keep them?
I don't know. I probably won't use the Monster one. The Monster one will definitely stay the way it is. If I can find a purpose for this one, I'll definitely use it.
It's pretty cool.
I'll definitely use it. Jeb, I have something for you.
Ooh.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
There you go.
Okay, a little poster tube action here. Oh, let's see if I can open it up.
Such a satisfying noise.
Pop. Oh, this is cool. I can already tell. Oh, I think I know exactly what it is. This, I think this is that over there.
Yep.
Every time I come over, I'm like, I just love looking at that thing.
Well, this
is the one that was over there.
This is the one that was over there. Yeah. What's different about that one over there? What's different about it?
I mean, so this one, I don't see an outer like border.
Yeah. Look closer.
Well, I can't see this whole thing.
It has the print lines.
Wider?
No, that has the cut lines on it.
That's a proof.
I just bought a proof.
No way.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, I just bought the proof of it. It says
I
Kiss.
noticed that because I saw it and I was like, oh, there's that cool poster again.
Yep.
I didn't notice that it was. So yeah, this is from the Kiss conventions, 95 to 96, the one that our parents were at.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Amazing.
I bought it off Amazon last year before, and I've had it framed. And as soon as I bought that proof, I thought this one has to go to Jeb.
So
sorry,
cool.
I don't have a frame for it, but I know you can get a frame,
That's
hang it
okay.
up in your apartment. And
I'm gonna get a frame for this.
30 years this July.
Oh,
That's
30 years.
30 years this July.
Yeah, 2025, 95.
2025.
Damn.
But there you go. So there's your very own Kiss convention poster.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Did I buy you the DVD for Kissmas or for random?
From
whatever it was?
that person. Yeah, they filmed it.
Yeah.
So I don't watch it yet because I don't have a TV yet.
Well, you can watch it on July 13th for the 30th anniversary.
That would be wicked.
But yeah, so the last
Thank
thing
you.
we've been doing, Jeb, on this show is the Kiss calendar, which we've been
The lovely Kiss calendar.
We've been
Yes.
taking a look at the Kiss calendar and marking off and writing down special dates and what's happening tomorrow, Jeb. What are we doing tomorrow?
Oh.
You haven't forgotten, have you?
Which answer do I give? Is it the wedding reception or the Ace Frehley concert?
Okay, so
Which
tomorrow,
one's more important?
tomorrow our younger sister has a wedding reception. After the party, we're gonna go see Ace Frehley live.
They
It's
are
gonna be
going. Don't get me
of
wrong.
course we're going.
We're going to both.
Yes, but
Because we're awesome.
you were able to make it down last year,
Yeah, I know. That sucks.
so you and I are gonna go see Ace live
Yes.
March 8th. Actually, for you guys, it'll have been yesterday.
Yeah.
This will be up on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And
so,
we'll be seeing it on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah,
So, yeah. So, yesterday for
Super
you guys, March 8th, we will be seeing Ace live. Jeb's first time seeing Ace solo live in full. We got good tickets down in
is the
front.
expo.
Right.
Expect some awesome photos, some awesome videos. That's coming March 8th. And then, of course, like I said, March 19th. Is it March 19th? That's the anniversary of Dress to Kill?
19.
Or is it the 15th? I thought it was the 19th. I think I marked down the 15th on accident
That's
on
supposed to
my
be the
calendar.
19th.
But it needs to be on the 19th.
Just arrow.
But
that
draw an
works.
arrow.
Is it tomorrow Dad's birthday?
Yeah. Same day we see Ace,
That's
yeah.
3 things.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Tomorrow's Dad's birthday.
Tomorrow's
we
a
get to see
very
Ace.
important day for
There's
so
a
many
lot
reasons.
going on.
It's International Women's Day.
Wow. It's a packed
Oh.
day.
Celebrating a lot tomorrow.
I don't know
but
if I can do it all. I don't know if
I don't know if I can do it.
I don't think you're fit
How
on
do we
that.
contain all this excitement?
Wait, what else was it?
International Women's Day.
Oh,
Ace,
yeah. No, I can't be a woman.
Caitlin's
that day.
reception.
I got too much going
I
on.
can't be a woman.
I can't be international or a woman.
I can't be. She's so European, though. Ooh,
That's-
that was a pretty good one. All right, anyway, so yeah, expect awesome photos and videos of the Ace show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Jeb, thank you for coming back down, man.
Great
It's
to
awesome.
be down. It's always good to be back in the Kiss room.
Absolutely,
Good vibes.
drinking Moneybag soda, which again, thank you
Hey,
for
the
bringing.
Ace show.
Yes, we have some for the Ace show too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, what does your cap say?
What does mine say? Probably cash deal. Nope, liquid currency.
Ooh.
Cash deal.
Yours
baby.
is cash deal for sure.
I always get liquid currency. I'm surprised I got cash deal.
Liquid currency. Liquid gold. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on episode 131 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. Real quickly, shout out to the Patreon subscribers. If you want to become a Patreon subscriber, there's a link in the description. We appreciate everybody who supports us because they keep the channel going. We have awesome exclusive content over there. Might even put some exclusive Ace content up there, too. We'll see. Anyway, I've been doing a new newsletter, the Kiss Army Things newsletter. So, yeah, all kinds of cool content there. We'll see you over there. And we'll see you in episode 132 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. Until then, my name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
My name is Jeb.
Peace out. Rock on.